Hello everyone. Previously we have seen what is meant by static variable. Now today we will see what is meant by static method. Okay, so in case of static variable, whenever we write the static keyword in front of any class variable, then that variable is known as a static variable. And why to use this static variable? Static variable is used to what for efficient memory management. You can use this static variable. Okay, so now we have already seen the example how to use this static variable. Now we'll discuss about this static method. This static method, if you apply the static keyword with any method, then it is known as a static method. Same as that of the static variable. In front of variable, if you put the static keyword, then it is called as a static variable. And if you put the same static keyword in front of any method, then that method is known as static method. Okay, so this static method generally belongs to the class rather than the object of a class. And also you can invoke the static method. This one is the important one. You can invoke the static method without creating the object of a class or an instance of a class. Means for invoking the simple method, for example, here only I'll write, suppose there is any simple method like void print. Okay, so if such method is there, then whatever you want to suppose display here, whatever any message if you want to display here, so to access this method you have to create the instance of that class. Okay, so for example, this one is the student class, so student, you have to create the its instance, that is the reference variable is s1 equals to new student. Okay, likewise you have to create the object, and by using that instance variable only you can call the method likewise. Okay, but in case of static method, there is no need to create the instance or object of the class. So how can you access the method? If you write the method as a static, then simply in front of this you can write the static. Okay, simple static keyword you have to put in front of your method, and for accessing this method you can directly use the class name. Suppose student is the class name, and after that student dot print. Okay, no need to use the no need to create the instance of the class to access this static method. Getting everyone? Now see here, the static method, one thing you have to remember that this is not the only way to access this static method. Means always you have to use the class name dot static method name. This is not the only way. You can access your method with the help of object of the class also. Okay, but while creating the object, when you are going to create an object, then it will take a memory. Okay, so it will, and whatever is the data accessing with the help of object, that will be stored into the memory. So the time required to store the memory or to access the memory is somewhat large. Okay, when you create the object or instance of a class, so it is preferable to use directly the class name and your static method name to use the static method, to invoke the static method. Getting? So this one is regarding the invoking of the static method. You can invoke the method with the help of object of a class also. Okay, but the better memory management, you should use the class name dot method name syntax in order to invoke the static method. Then the next one is, a static method can be access static data member and change the value of it. The meaning is, only the static variable, static data member means static variable, the variable which you have declared as a static, in front of which you have used this static keyword, that variable only you can access within this static method. Okay, so within static method you can access only static data member or a static variable, and the value of that static variable you can change at any time, okay, by using this static method. The value of your static variable you can change at any time by using this static method. Okay, I'll explain the meaning of this to statement with the help of example. So a static method can access static data member always, okay, but it is not always necessary that static data member can be accessed through the static method only. Okay, see the difference. Static method can access the static data member, but it is not always necessary that static data member can be accessed by static method only. You can access the static variable in a simple method also. Okay, so through example I'll explain this to statement in a better way. So let's start with our example. Suppose here I'll write one class student. So student is my class. Here I'll use C to justify this to statement. In my program I'm going to use this static method also, simple method also, static variable also, and simple variable also. Okay, so class student, here suppose int roll. This int roll is the simple variable, class variable, simple class variable without static keyword. Okay, then suppose second one is the string name, or you can say it is a S name, student name. Okay, so this one is also again a class variable without static keyword, means simple variable. Okay, and I'll use here one static variable, that is static string, suppose HOD name of that particular student. Okay, suppose we are storing the information of the student belonging to same department. Okay, so HOD name is common to all the students, so I'll write here suppose HOD name is XYZ. Okay, and which is static for if I am storing the information of 50 students, so HOD name with the students belonging to the same department is same. Okay, so rather than wasting the memory for storing the HOD name in a heap memory every time, which I have already explained, memory management in a static keyword, so rather than that I'll declare it as a static. Okay, then next one I'll use here one static method and one simple method in this class only. Okay, so static method is static, just you have to use the keyword static, and after that you have to use method name void. Void means it is not returning any value. Print, for printing all this information. Okay, so this one is the static method. The statements within this method, definition of this method I'll write later. Okay, and I have one simple method without static keyword, so that method is void. Suppose print area display. Suppose the name of that simple method is the display. Okay, so this one is the two methods. Now see here, I have told you that a static method can access the static variable only. Okay, so here in our example, roll number and S name, roll and S name are the simple variable, not a static one. The only one static variable is here, that is HOD name. Okay, so I'll access this variable here, means I'll just print it, system dot out dot print ln. Okay, so here I'll write, I want to print HOD name. Okay, I'm not writing any message, just I'm printing the HOD name. Okay, so within static method I have access only the static variable. Now next, see, this one is our simple method. So here I can use my simple. Initially I'll use access my simple variable, that is roll and S name. So with the help of one system dot out dot print ln, and within this I want to display roll number plus, I'll give one space here, and after that I'll write here student name. Okay, so now I'll write the I'll close the class here. I'll write the main class. Suppose main class is demo 6, within which I'll use the main method public static void main. Here also I am using the keyword static. The meaning is there is no need to use the object in order to call the main method. That's why in front of that static keyword is written. Okay, so static string args, and here for calling the static method there is no need to create the object, so I'll just directly call it with the help of class name student, and the method name is static method name is print. Okay, simply I can call like this, okay, class name and print, because print is a static method. Okay, then next one, for accessing, now see, one simple method is also there in my class, so for accessing this I cannot write student.display. Okay, so I have to create the object. So student student, suppose s is the object, equals to new student. Okay, so I have created one reference variable s, and now I want to call the method display. So with the help of s dot display, I will use the object to call the method. Okay, s dot display. Now which information it will display? It want the roll number and serial number. Okay, so I'll pass here, suppose roll number is 10, serial number, not a serial number, it's a name, so suppose Ram. Okay, so I will pass these two values. So for getting this value I have to use some variable here also, int. For roll number I'll suppose use the variable int r, and for name of student I'll use student string n. Okay, and whatever are the value going into the r and n s, that will be stored into the class variable role, and s name equals to n. Getting? So what will be the flow of our program? So I'll just close here main class. So whenever the main method get called, it will first call the print method, as print is the static method, so there is no need to create an object, or there is no need to use the object to call this method. You can directly call it with the help of class name. So student.print, so it will call the print method. So within the print method, one message I have written the code for printing the message, that is HOD name, so it will print the HOD name. Then for accessing the simple method, it is compulsory to create the object, so I have created the object having the reference name, or reference name s. So with the help of that object I am calling the display method. Okay, display, the spelling of display. Okay, so it will require the two arguments, because I want to print here roll number and serial number. I am not using the concept of constructor, so I have to pass the values here only. So if I am passing the values here, so there should be someone to get that values in the method definition. So I have used here int r, which will get the value 10, string n, which will get the value ram, and it will be stored again into the class variable role and s name respectively. Okay, and after that I'll print the message role space student name. Okay, so just write, save it with the name demo6 dot java. Hope it will execute properly. So just compile it, demo6 dot java. Okay, it is compiled properly. Now we'll run it, java demo6. Yeah, it is printing xyz 10 space ram. Why it is printing xyz first? Because we have called the static method first. So in within static method HOD name get printed, and after that 10 and ram get printed with the help of this statement. Okay, now see, again we will move towards the PPT. A static keyword can be invoked without the need of creating an instance of a class. So yes, it is possible, because we have not used the instance of a class to call the print method static method. So this that statement get hence proved. Now is it possible to use it with the object? So that we will check. We have already created the object, so s dot print. So let's see whether it will be possible or not. Java C. Yes, so first xyz is printed when we invoke our method with the help of class name, and last xyz is printed when we invoke our static method with the help of object name. Okay, so here I have already told you that though the static methods can be invoked without the need of creating the instance of a class, but you can access, but for better memory management, because it will get the extra time to store into the memory, or if when while retrieval. So to reduce that time, to proper time management, you can access it with the help of class name only. Okay, so both ways are possible. Now see the next statement. The next statement is static method can access static data member. Static method can access static data member. So we have already within the static method print, we have already accessed the static data member. So let's see whether it is possible to access the another role. Is not a static one, it is a normal variable of a class. Okay, so is it possible? Let's see. Just compile it. Yeah, it is giving error. Non-static variable role name cannot be referenced from a static context. So hence proved the static method can access the static data member. Okay, getting? But vice versa is not true. Means what? I'll again write here HOD name. Now see, vice versa means what? Is it possible to print the HOD name? HOD name is a static variable. Okay, so is it possible to use that static variable within our simple method? Okay, which is not a static one. So I'll just print here HOD name. So let's see. Yeah, it is not giving the error. Means it is possible to access the your static variable into the simple method. Okay, so yeah, it is giving xyz when you call this student.print, and when you called s.display, it will give 10 ram and xyz. Means it is possible to access this static variable in a normal method also, but it is within a static variable, a static method, we cannot access the normal variable. Getting? Then the next one, the static method can change the value of it. It means what? Static data member. Okay, static data member or a static variable की वैल्यू कौन चेंज कर सकता है? Static method. Okay, now see, suppose I have written one extra, just remove it, don't get confused why it is printed repeatedly, so just remove it. Okay, so see here, suppose I am using here one extra method, static void replace. Means it is not always necessary that your xyz is the HOD for your throughout your year, okay, academic year. It may possibility that there may be a possibility that your XYZ HOD get resigned from that college and you got a new HOD, okay. So for that I'll use one replace method, okay, and just whatever is the static variable name which is previously HOD name XYZ, I'll just change it with, for example, ABC, okay. So I can change that also, and here I'll, and where you want that change, simply in front of that you can write with the help of class name, you can access the static method name. So student dot replace, okay. So let's see what will be the output. It is compiled properly, the meaning is the code is proper one. Now it is yes, I have not saved the code, control S. Now I have to compile it again. Yeah, now see, instead of XYZ your HOD is ABC. So the value of your static variable can be changed by your static method. Static method we have written here replace, where HOD name equals to ABC, okay, and we have just called that method where you want the change, okay. So in output that change is reflected, instead of XYZ now your HOD is ABC, getting. So this is the beauty of your static method, getting. So what is static method? Static method is a method which can be accessed without creating an instance of a class, and static method can access the static variable, okay, but static variable can be accessed in normal method also, and the value of static variable can be changed by the static method. Simply you have to put the static keyword in front of your method in order to make it static, okay. So this is all about the static method. Thank you.